6:47 a.m. Your alarm goes off. Same time as always. Same tired eyes. But something feels different today. You don't know why yet. You reach for your phone. Not for messages, not for texts. You open one specific app, your investment account. And there it is. A number you've stared at for years. Today, your portfolio earned more than your paycheck. Not your monthly salary, your entire paycheck, in a single day. Let that sink in for a second. You read it again, just to be sure. Your eyes aren't tricking you this time. You set the phone down slowly, carefully. Your heart is doing something strange right now. Not racing, not panicking, just quiet. You almost laugh, almost, but not quite, because you remember exactly how far this started. You remember a version of yourself that wouldn't believe this. That version is still inside you somewhere. Let's go back and meet that version. 3 years ago, this sentence made no sense to you. You worked a normal job. You got a normal paycheck. Every 2 weeks, money arrived. Every 2 weeks, it disappeared. Rent took a chunk. Groceries took another. Whatever was left, you told yourself, I'll save next month. Next month never came. It never does for most people. You'd scroll your banking app late at night, watching the balance shrink before the next payday. You told yourself this was just temporary, just this year. You told yourself that every single year, though. Your job wasn't bad. It just wasn't enough. Enough to feel ahead. Enough to feel safe. You clocked in on time. You worked hard, yet somehow the math never worked in your favor. Everyone around you seemed to be spending faster. You watched coworkers finance new cars they couldn't afford. You watched friends open store cards for instant discounts. Buy now, pay later, forever, apparently. You said no, quietly, without announcing it. Not because you were smarter, because something felt off. Borrowing to look rich felt like drowning in slow motion. One night, an ad promised easy approval, instant cash. You almost clicked it. Your thumb hovered there. Something in your gut stopped you cold. You closed the app instead, sat in silence. That silence felt uncomfortable, even a little embarrassing. But it also felt like the first honest moment, the first time you chose patience over pressure. So instead, you did something boring, something unglamorous. You opened a brokerage account with $40. $40, not $4,000. 40. People laughed. That won't do anything, they said. You didn't argue. You just kept showing up. Every payday, before rent, before food, before anything else, a small percentage moved automatically into ownership, real ownership, shares of real companies, real businesses. Not lottery tickets disguised as opportunities, not borrowed money chasing hype, just patient, boring, unsexy ownership, month after month. Nobody filmed this part. Nobody posted this part. There's no dopamine hit in transferring $40 quietly. But compounding doesn't care about attention. It only cares about time. Year 1, nothing seemed to happen. The number barely moved. You almost quit twice, almost pulled everything out. A crash came. Your account dropped hard. Everyone panicked. Group chats filled with red arrows and worry. Someone said, get out now before it's zero. Your stomach dropped watching your own number shrink. For a moment, you almost believed them too. Fear is loud. Patience, meanwhile, stays completely silent. Friends sold everything, scared, convinced the world was ending. You didn't sell. You couldn't afford new fear either. You just kept your automatic transfer running. Same amount, same day. Buying more ownership while it was cheaper, while others fled. Year 2, something shifted. Slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. The growth started outpacing your contributions, barely but noticeably. You didn't tell anyone. You just watched, curious. Your job still paid the same amount. Nothing changed there. But your money was finally working a second job, one that never called in sick, never took a lunch break, never asked for a raise, because it kept growing anyway. You started noticing small shifts in yourself, too. You stopped comparing your car to your neighbor's. You stopped opening every limited time offer email.
None of it felt urgent anymore. Strange, but true. A coworker asked how you stayed so calm. You just shrugged. I stopped chasing everything, you said. They laughed it off. You didn't need them to understand. Year 3 brought something strange, a quiet kind of confidence. You stopped checking prices at grocery stores in panic. Not because you were rich, because you felt secure. Security feels different than wealth. It feels like exhaling. Then came this morning, this ordinary, unremarkable Tuesday. Your portfolio grew more in one day than your paycheck. No lottery, no inheritance, no risky bet paying off. Just years of patient ownership finally showing its math. The coffee in your hand has gone lukewarm. You haven't noticed, you're still staring at the screen. Outside, the same street looks completely unchanged. Cars pass by, a dog barks somewhere nearby. The world has no idea what just happened, and honestly, it doesn't need to know. This moment belongs entirely to you, quietly. Here's what nobody warns you about this moment. It doesn't feel like winning. It feels quiet, almost anecdotal. You don't throw a party, you don't quit your job impulsively. You just sit there, coffee in hand, slightly stunned. You think about every person who mocked $40. You think about every get-rich-quick scheme you ignored. You think about every interest-loaded purchase you refused to make. You think about every friend who called you boring. Boring, it turns out, compounds. Excitement usually just evaporates. You think about that late-night ad you almost clicked. You think about the group chat panic during the crash. You think about every next month that never came. All of it led here, somehow, to this chair. None of it felt special while it was happening. Your job still matters, you still show up tomorrow, but something has permanently shifted in how you see money. Your paycheck used to feel like your only lifeline. Now it's one engine among several, running in parallel. If your job disappeared tomorrow, panic wouldn't consume you instantly. You'd have room to breathe, room to think, room to choose. That room is what nobody sells you in advertisements. They sell urgency, they sell debt, they sell buy now. Nobody profits from teaching you patience and ownership, so they don't teach it. You have to find it yourself. You found it in $40 in a boring habit. You found it by refusing borrowed money and refusing shortcuts. You found it by staying calm while everyone else panicked. This morning is proof that boring math beats loud noise. Your alarm still goes off at 6:47 tomorrow, same as always, but you'll open that app a little differently now. Not desperate, not anxious, just quietly, patiently curious. Because you already know what boring, consistent ownership eventually becomes. It becomes a second income, then a primary one. Then one ordinary Tuesday, it becomes the whole story. Maybe you're still at the very beginning right now. Maybe $40 feels laughably small to you too. Maybe you're the one being laughed at today. That's fine. That's exactly where this story started. Nobody believes the boring version until it works. You don't need permission to start small. You don't need an ad or a shortcut. You just need one quiet decision repeated often. Somewhere ahead of you is your own ordinary Tuesday, the one where the math finally speaks louder. Until then, keep showing up. Keep staying boring.